Joshua Silverstein was her very first boyfriend. They were both only 13.
You know, I think as she told it, she approached me.
Many people doubt Meghan has long been a mother. Following her attendance at Northwestern University, Meghan began dating Joe Giuliano.
Meghan Markle has been called many things: a rule breaker, a troublemaker, even a manipulator. But while the headlines have painted her as the duchess who turned her back on the crown, a far more explosive story has been hiding in the shadows. Not about royal feuds, Netflix deals, or public interviews, but about Meghan's past. Past so mysterious, so carefully covered up, that if even half of it is true, it could shatter her carefully built image forever.
What? And the couple got married after having a child when Meghan was almost 20.
Because the whispers aren't just about missing years or sealed documents. They're about a child. A hidden child that, if real, would mean Meghan Markle, at just 43 years old, isn't only a mother. She may already be a grandmother.
According to reports, Noelle was born in or around 1999, which fits the timeline perfectly.
And if that's the case, everything the world thought they knew about Meghan crumbles in an instant, and Prince Harry is left standing in the middle of the greatest royal scandal of our time.
Given her appearance, Noelle does share some similarities with Joe and Meghan, and she's even more like Meghan.
Typed out all kind of pictures, communications with Joe.
For years, Meghan has worked to craft a polished image. The victimized duchess, the silenced woman who broke free from a cold monarchy, the mother who gave up everything for love. But behind the glossy photos and carefully staged interviews, her credibility has been collapsing piece by piece.
Very clear to me at the time that, we were together, I would say. Yeah, she very clear idea of where she wanted her path to take.
I just made a little mark on my board and said, oh, there's another lie. Click.
She's been branded a liar, a manipulator, someone who bends the truth whenever it suits her. Even the royal family, who once bent over backwards to accommodate her, have reached a breaking point. Insiders say they won't come to Harry's rescue anymore. They won't cover Meghan's tracks, won't bankroll a divorce, and won't even bother correcting the stories she spreads. To them, her words mean nothing now.
And Meghan, look, that's a woman who wants to be famous more than anything. More than anything. She has literally chucked every single person in her life under the bus other than her mum, right? So I know her dad really well, I know her sister really well. I think they're a really good, honest American family. But she was embarrassed by them. She was embarrassed by them. They were too working class. They were too normal for Meghan. She didn't want them to be part of it, so she just flicked them, got rid of them.
Meghan's biggest problem? She doesn't just stir the pot. She flips the entire table. Every time the royals try to move past a scandal, she finds a way to drag them right back into chaos. Interviews, podcasts, Netflix specials, all designed to reignite drama the monarchy desperately wants to bury.
If she'll do this to our family, she'll do this to yours. I love her, she's my sister, but humanitarians and diplomats don't behave.
Remember when she was born, big new addition to the family, and we just have a very young sister here.
Thomas Jr. was 14 when Meghan came into the world.
Is there an inherent tension in trying to be relatable while also being a duchess?
No, I don't find, I'm just being myself. So I think probably it was different several years ago where I couldn't be as vocal and I had to wear nude pantyhose all the time. Let's be honest, that was not very myself. I hadn't seen pantyhose since movies in the 80s when they came in the little egg. That felt a little bit inauthentic, but that's a silly example. But it is an example of when you're able to dress the way you want to dress and you're able to say the things that are true and you're able to show up in the space really organically and authentically.
But this latest storm isn't about Hollywood deals or a feud with Kate. It's not about Meghan's battle for public sympathy. It's about something far more dangerous, the secrets buried in her own past. Secrets that, if exposed, could destroy everything she's built and leave Harry blindsided in the cruelest way imaginable.
Oh my gosh, I work so hard. And I'm still working hard. And I've always been a hard worker. I'm gonna live my life really authentically, make choices authentically.
She can't even act like herself.
She's such a phony.
Do not trust this woman.
Uncle, make it end. Make it end. What is this? Guys, I feel like I'm I'm a very accepting person. Truly, I want to like something about her. I'm searching for something to like about her. And it's so hard because she suffers from such a rare disorder of being unable to just be a human. Do you know what I mean? I've never seen this sort of. I've never seen someone that struggles to just give us like one strip of authenticity.
Because this time, the spotlight isn't on the crown. It's on Meghan. And what comes next is the one thing she never wanted the world to see. Every public figure has a story, a timeline, a neat little biography that tells the world where they came from and how they got here. And Meghan Markle is no different, at least on the surface. According to her official narrative, Meghan graduated from Immaculate Heart High School in Los Angeles in 1994. After that, she supposedly took a gap year before enrolling at Northwestern University in 1995. She described it as a year of travel and self-discovery, painting the picture of a young woman backpacking, studying abroad, exploring the world before hitting the books. Sounds innocent enough, right? But here's the problem, there's no proof. None. Not a single shred of evidence to support that story. No passport stamps, no photos with classmates overseas, no travel visas, no memories shared by friends. It's not ancient history we're talking about here, this was the mid-1990s. People had cameras. People kept records. If Meghan had really been jet-setting across Europe or studying abroad, at least one piece of evidence would have surfaced by now. Instead, what we're left with is a 12-month black hole. An entire year that simply vanishes from her story. A year with no classmates, no colleagues, no witnesses who can say, "Yes, I was there with her." It's like Meghan Markle stepped off the map after high school and reappeared a year later, brand new and ready for university life. And royal commentators haven't missed it. Ingrid Seward, one of the most respected voices in the royal watching world, even labeled it Meghan's ghost year, a period with nothing to show, no one to place her with, no paper trail at all. So the burning question is, why? Why would someone erase a whole year of their life? Was Meghan really discovering herself, as she claimed? Or was she hiding something she never wanted the world to know? Because that missing year, as we'll see, lines up a little too perfectly with some of the most shocking rumors about Meghan Markle's past. Oh, here's where things take a turn from curious to downright scandalous. That missing year, the so-called ghost year in Meghan Markle's past, doesn't just vanish into thin air. It lines up almost perfectly with whispers of something far more dramatic, a secret wedding. Yes, you heard that right. Rumors have swirled for years that in the summer of 1994, an 18-year-old Meghan quietly slipped into a Las Vegas chapel and said, "I do." No royal fanfare, no glamorous gown, no carefully curated photos for the press. Just a rushed ceremony in the wedding capital of the world. The kind of place known for quick vows and even quicker regrets. Allegedly, there were a handful of witnesses, acquaintances close to her at the time, and even whispers that her half-siblings Thomas Markle Jr. and Samantha Markle might have been present. The ceremony itself was short and simple, barely more than a formality. But the fallout? That's where it gets interesting. Within months, the marriage was annulled. On its own, that could be brushed off as a teenage mistake. Something millions of young people have done in a moment of impulse. But here's the twist. Those annulment papers didn't just fade into obscurity. They were sealed. Locked away in Clark County, Nevada, like someone wanted them buried forever. And that raises the million-dollar question, why? Teenage marriages aren't exactly rare. In most cases, the records sit there in public files, harmless, embarrassing maybe, but far from scandalous. So why would Meghan's supposed annulment be hidden so deeply that no one can confirm it ever happened? Why erase what could have easily been spun as a youthful oops moment, unless there was something attached to that marriage that could not be revealed? Some call it coincidence. Others call it a cover-up. Either way, the sealed records only add fuel to the whispers that Meghan's missing year wasn't about travel or discovery at all. It was about hiding a chapter of her life she never wanted the world, or Prince Harry, to uncover. And if you think a secret Vegas wedding is shocking, wait until you hear what came next. 'Cause the rumors don't stop with annulment papers. They go much, much further. A teenage Vegas wedding, quickly annulled, could have been chalked up to nothing more than youthful recklessness. An embarrassing story, sure, but not one that would ruin Meghan Markle's life or her carefully curated image decades later. But this is where the whispers take a darker, far more explosive turn. Because according to those who claim to know what really happened, Meghan's short-lived marriage didn't just end in a courtroom. It ended with a pregnancy. That's right, the missing year wasn't about travel or self-discovery or backpacking across Europe. It may have been about something much more personal, carrying a child in complete secrecy. That's true, it explains everything. It explains the sealed records. It explains why the marriage was annulled instead of simply divorced, a legal route often taken when a union needs to be erased as if it never happened. And it explains why no one, not friends, not classmates, not even her closest confidants, can place Meghan anywhere during that 12-month gap. The theory suggests that Meghan gave birth quietly, away from the public eye, with her family ensuring that the scandal never surfaced. A baby born out of a secret teenage marriage could have derailed her ambitions before they even started. Could have ended her dreams of Hollywood, her carefully built image of independence, and later, her Cinderella story with Prince Harry. And here's the part that chills even Meghan's harshest critics. If the whispers are true, and if that child grew up quietly in the shadows, then Meghan Markle isn't just the mother of Archie and Lilibet. She's a grandmother. Timeline makes it plausible. If Meghan had a baby in 1994 or 1995, that child would now be nearly 30 years old enough to have children of their own. Imagine the headlines. Imagine the fallout if the Duchess of Sussex, who built an empire on the story of her sacrifice for motherhood, had been hiding another child all along. Of course, Meghan has never acknowledged any of this. To her, that missing year was just time spent finding herself. But the evidence, the sealed records, the vanishing from public life, the whispers that refuse to die, suggests there may have been far more at stake than a simple gap year. And if Meghan thought she could bury the truth forever, she underestimated just how relentless royal watchers, and her own family, could be. Because the next part of this story brings us face to face with the people who say they know exactly what happened. If there's one thing Meghan Markle has never been able to escape, it's her family. Long before she married into royalty, Meghan's half-siblings Thomas Jr. and Samantha Markle were speaking to tabloids, eager to cash in on her rise to fame. And since then, their voices have only grown louder, especially when it comes to the secrets Meghan allegedly wants buried. Samantha, in particular, has never minced words. She's accused Meghan of rewriting her past, cutting ties with her own blood, and spinning a carefully controlled narrative for the cameras. But behind the bitterness, there's something even more intriguing. Hints dropped over the years that Meghan's story doesn't quite add up. Samantha has suggested that Meghan isn't telling the full truth about her youth, that her sister's carefully polished image leaves out chapters too messy, too damaging to ever be acknowledged. And then there's Thomas Markle Jr. He's been less direct, but his scattered interviews often circle back to Meghan's lies, her fake life, and her need to hide who she really is. He, too, has hinted that there are secrets locked away in the Markle family vault, ones that would turn Meghan's fairy tale image upside down. Even Meghan's father, Thomas Markle Sr., has fueled speculation, though perhaps more unintentionally. When asked about Meghan's early years, he often provides vague, incomplete answers. He can recall her school plays, her graduation, even her first acting jobs, but when it comes to that missing year, silence. His stories skip. His timelines falter, leaving observers wondering whether he's protecting his daughter or hiding something even he isn't willing to admit. Critics argue that Meghan's strained family ties are proof of nothing. After all, bitterness runs deep in families where fame and money collide. But here's the twist. These suspicions line up perfectly with the missing year, the sealed Vegas records, and the whispers of a child kept out of sight. Could it be that her own siblings know the truth, and that their bitterness stems not just from being cut off, but from carrying a secret Meghan refuses to acknowledge? If so, it would mean the biggest scandal in Meghan Markle's story doesn't come from the royal family at all. It comes from her own blood. And if that's true, the next question is the one that could shake Prince Harry to his core. Does he know? Or is he, like the rest of the world, in the dark about the life Meghan left behind? For Prince Harry, trust has always been complicated. He grew up in a palace where secrets were currency, where every whispered rumor could become tomorrow's headline. He watched his own mother, Princess Diana, suffer under the weight of lies, betrayals, and cover-ups. So when Harry married Meghan, he believed he was breaking free from all of that, choosing honesty, love, and loyalty over the shadow games of royal life. But what if the person he trusted most has been keeping the biggest secret of all? Imagine Harry learning that his wife, the woman he defended against the press, the woman he abandoned his family for, had hidden a marriage, a pregnancy, even a child from him. A whole chapter of her life scrubbed clean before she ever walked down the aisle at St. George's Chapel. Sources close to Harry have suggested he already wrestles with doubt. He's been described as isolated, confused, and even controlled at times, with friends back in the UK privately admitting they barely recognize the man he's become. Could part of that stem from Meghan's iron grip on her own narrative? Could Harry already suspect that not everything she's told him is the truth? And if the rumors are true, Meghan wouldn't just be hiding something from the public. She'd be hiding it from her husband, a man who famously declared he wanted a transparent, honest life away from the monarchy. The betrayal, if real, would be devastating. Harry has risked everything. His family, his military ties, his royal privileges, even his home in the UK. To discover that his wife built their marriage on secrets would not just be humiliating, it would be soul-crushing. But here's the dangerous part. If Harry does know and he's choosing to stay silent, then he's complicit. It would mean the couple are united not just in love, but in deception. A power couple built not on truth, but on lies thick enough to bury an entire past. Either way, Harry is trapped. If he doesn't know, he's been made a fool on the global stage. If he does know, then he's actively helping Meghan hide the one scandal that could end their empire overnight. And the cracks are already beginning to show. Their Netflix projects struggle. Their public appearances are less convincing. And the more Meghan's past is dragged back into the spotlight, the harder it becomes for Harry to hold the line. Because one question won't go away. Is Prince Harry a victim of Meghan's secrets or her partner in the cover-up? If there's one thing the British monarchy has perfected over centuries of scandal, it's silence. When the storm rages, when the press smells blood, when the rumors become too messy to fight, the palace retreats. Never complain, never explain. It's their golden rule. And when it comes to Meghan Markle's alleged missing year, the sealed Vegas records, and the whispers of a hidden child, the royals have been completely, deliberately silent. Not a denial, not a clarification, not even a carefully worded palace statement. Nothing. On the surface, that might look like indifference. But inside royal circles, silence is never accidental. It's calculated. Every word, every pause, every refusal to engage is part of a larger strategy. Let the scandal burn itself out while keeping the monarchy's hands clean. But this time, the silence cuts deeper. Sources close to Buckingham Palace suggest the royals have no intention of protecting Harry and Meghan anymore. When Meghan first entered the family, the palace bent over backwards to shield her from criticism. They tried to squash negative headlines, they silenced staffers, they even ignored red flags. But after years of Oprah interviews, Netflix documentaries, and constant public attacks, the firm has made its position clear. Meghan is on her own. And that leaves Harry exposed too. If the rumors of Meghan's past explode into the mainstream, the monarchy won't swoop in to defend him. They won't bury the story. They won't cover the cracks in Meghan's timeline. To the royal family, Meghan made her bed, and now she and Harry can lie in it. Behind palace walls, some courtiers reportedly believe the rumors don't even need to be disproven. They believe time itself will expose Meghan. As one royal insider chillingly put it, the truth has a way of surfacing. And when it does, we will not stand in the way. This is the cruel brilliance of the monarchy's silence. They don't need to destroy Meghan themselves. All they have to do is wait, and watch as her carefully guarded past becomes the very thing that tears her world apart.